That's not supposed to happen. Okay, I'll worry about that later. That should have automatically unmuted me. Okay, well, I'll fix that later. I've been tinkering a lot with things behind the scenes, so probably broke. Anyway, so as I was saying, this is FateExtra. I've been getting told to play this game for quite some time now. I finally caved to peer pressure. I am not exactly the biggest fan of Fate. I don't dislike it, but I don't like it. Easily enough for people who are new to RPGs, people who wish to fully enjoy the experience. I am not new to RPGs. A word of advice, there are a number of dead ends and potentially fatal choices. The story in this game is a work of fiction. Any resemblance to any real person or location is purely coincidental. It's a bright, sunny morning. The air is filled with the joyful laughter of students. Oh, incidentally, this is a fan English patch, I believe. There's more activity than normal in front of the school gate. A crowd is forming as students are being called over. I wonder what's going on. When I peer into the center of the hubbub, I see my friend and student council president, Issei Ryudo. Wait, hold on, I thought there was a female protagonist. Anyway, like it's an option. Good morning. Lovely weather we're having, don't you think? Why do you look so surprised? We announced at last week's assembly that this month the student council would strictly enforce school rules. I have been tasked with performing inspections to ensure students are in compliance with school rules. Now, it goes without saying that everyone is subject to inspections, even old friends. Now then, uniform inspection time. Collar, check. Pants, check. And your socks, check. Next is the contents of your bag. Notebooks, textbooks, pencil box. Not even a whiff of contraband. Your nails are evenly cut, and your haircut is sensible. Indeed, quite remarkable. You're a model Tsukimihara Academy student. Someone like you ought to consider a future in student government. You'd be perfect for it. Oh, but I'd never try to coerce you into joining the student council. We aren't like that. Now then, off to your classroom. Enjoy your day. Before I can reply, Mr. Diligent Student Council President is on to the next student's inspection. Hungry for gossip on their way to their classrooms, the students jabber about the inspections. Things are always so gently bustling in the morning. Another peaceful beginning to another peaceful day. Triangle on campus, open system menu. Straightforward. Pretty standard stuff. So yeah, just for the record, my current existing exposure to the Fate franchise is I've seen Fate Zero and I've seen Fate Unlimited Blade Works, and I've seen the first 2 or 3 seasons of Prelia, and I've had my ear talked off about Grand Order by multiple people, but I haven't played that game myself. Welcome and enjoy your stay at Tsukimihara Academy. I just wanted to try saying that once just to see how corny it would sound. If you continue right, you'll find the archery range, but you should head for the school building now. Your classroom's on the 2nd floor, right? If you don't get to your classroom soon, you'll incite Tiger's wrath. Zurian, isn't there like an option to play as a female character, or did I misinterpret something? Because start of the game, if it's something I had to like decide ahead in the sequel, oh. That's lame. I have this weird feeling that I'm forgetting something. I just can't think of what it might be. Man, I must have a hole in my head. Maybe if I head back to my classroom. Oh well, at least I didn't like miss out on it. I was like, should I have set an option before hitting start? Oh, isn't the archery range open? What is this archery range you speak of? Oh, that building over there to the right? What about it? Well, somebody left their stuff there, but whatever. like their one conversation. Okay, so what I'm hearing is that there's stuff in the archery range. It's a vending machine. My favorite juice is sold out. A lingering scent in the air triggers in my thoughts a soft wave of nostalgia. The archery range seems to be completely empty. The entrance is even closed up tight. I better hightail it back to the classroom. Room 2A is on the main building's second floor. You can tell this game is made when Persona 3 got popular. I wasn't gonna say it. Wait, hold up. Is my chat broken? Like my chat overlay? Yeah, hold on a second. For some reason, my bot is not correctly connected to OBS. That's not good. That does explain some things, though. I thought... Oh, I might know what I did wrong. Hold on. Please bear with me. Technical issues. No, it looks like everything's still set up correctly. If I do this... No? Fuck. Pardon my French. Oh, jeez. Okay, so my bot's broken for now. I'll have to troubleshoot this later. My apologies. Where were we? This game is saying when Persona 3 got popular. Yeah, no, I was trying not to say it. I have this weird feeling that I'm forgetting something. I just can't think of what it might be. Maybe if I head back to the classroom. School building, first floor. I think I mentioned this before, but oh wow, this looks exactly like the Persona 3 hallways. Oh man, I gotta go to the bathroom before homeroom starts. My eyes are starting to float. What was I saying? Something about technology. I forget. The boys' bathroom. I don't really need to go now. This is the faculty office. Oh, right. So fun fact, in some countries, the floor that is flush with the ground outside isn't called the first floor. It's called the ground floor. And then the floor above that is called the first floor. But in America and in Canada, the floor that is flush with the ground outside is the first floor, and then the floor above that is the second floor. It's an interesting distinction that throws me off sometimes when I read media from different parts of the world. This is the faculty office. I don't really have any need or desire to talk with any of the teachers, so I shouldn't go in. I woke up this morning with a splitting headache, and I've been really forgetful as of late. This is the faculty office, still. This is the nurse's office. I can feel the people inside, but I'm not quite sure how. Anyway, the door won't budge. The academy's garden is up ahead. It looks like it's under renovation, so only those involved in the process are allowed to go in. I'm not allowed to do anything. It sure is a JRPG opening sequence. This is room 1A. Even though nobody's around, the silence is so absolute that it's somewhat unnerving. Didn't I want to go into 1A? This is room 1B. The classroom feels totally lifeless. The lack of students just makes that feeling worse. This is room 1C. All of the first year classrooms seem totally devoid of life. I wonder what's going on. It looks like a fire alarm. Just the sight of it makes me want to set it off. Okay, so the protagonist does have proper foxy instincts, which is what matters most, I think. The cafeteria is just up ahead. It looks like they're still getting ready. We better head to the classroom. Our classroom. Two-way ring a bell. The boys' bathroom, don't need to go now. The girls' bathroom, I don't have the guts to walk in. This is the library. There are weird mechanical noises coming from inside. I'd check it out, but the door's locked. This is the library. There are weird mechanical noises coming from inside. Also locked. I think those were both the library. There's nothing interactive on that door. So yeah, in Fate Unlimited Blade Works, the thing that happened at a school there was somebody set up like a big field to like drain the life out of everybody inside. So I wonder if something similar is happening here, because I'm seeing characters that share names. This is Class 2B. There's a lot of athletes here, so it's a little overwhelming. It's noisy as usual. I'd rather not be noticed, so I better hightail it out of here. Class 2C. The Student Council President Issei is in Class C, but he's not here now. He must be busy. I don't know anybody else here. I should probably leave. This is the shared locker for the classroom's use. It has stationery and supplies, buried under a treasure trove of Miss Fujimura's junk. As I enter class, I see Mato with a bunch of girls. Why he's so popular is a mystery. Hey, when did you show up? You're so quiet and dull that I didn't even notice you. Okay, looks like it's voice acted but in Japanese. Unfortunately, I'm not fluent. Also, in the anime, this guy, Shinji, is the literal worst. Like, it's a series with, like, supernatural villains, and this random schoolboy is, like, the one that you want to suffer the most. Even though we've been friends since our freshman year, right? Anyway, don't sweat the fact that you're as boring as dirt. It's not like you can help it. I mean, anybody would seem boring and stupid when compared to me. It's a little early for so much abuse, but it's Shinji, so it can't be helped. His arrogance is almost palatable. I don't know what he's saying, but it makes all the girls squeal with joy. Actually, let me rephrase. His popularity isn't so much mysterious as it is unnatural. I was just doing a little math tutoring. This stuff is beyond easy. For me, anyway. Wait a second. Hey, Mato. Isn't this the answer to this question totally wrong in every way? What am I? I'm the one who solved that. There's no way it could be wrong. But look at this. Since when did 2 plus 2 equal 5? I never make such a stupid mistake. It's all your fault. You're the idiots here, not me. As Shinji raises his voice, the girls all panic and run back to their desks. I hate dealing with the proletariat, especially when they think they're my equal. It's really pathetic that these worms don't know their place. Ha, he said worms. That's why I like you so much. Even though you're boring, you know not to steal my thunder. You're the ultimate sidekick. Shinji flashes me a smile. It's weird how I never take offense at the way he talks to me. By some strange twist of fate, Shinji Mato and I are friends. Can I please play as literally anybody else? How we became friends was... I can't quite remember how it happened. I want to say we met in spring sometime. The bell for class rings as I try to recollect. And who should fly through the door but our homeroom teacher, Mrs. Fujimura? Not Mrs., just Miss, sorry. I made it. Good morning, And thud. Miss Fujimura trips, falling painfully onto the floor. As she lands, her head strikes the corner of the platform at the front of the classroom. The classroom goes dead silent. Every student's attention is focused on the same thing. Again? How does she manage to trip in the same place every time? Listen, you. This isn't the time to be making stupid jokes. You're right. She isn't moving. Did she get knocked out or something? A few brave students get out of their seats and crowd around the still comatose Fujimura. Hey, Miss Fujimura? Miss Fujimura? Are you okay? What? Huh? What's wrong, everybody? Hey, class is about to start, so get back to your seats pronto. She jumps to her feet as if nothing had happened. It's almost as if the memory of her sudden and violent trip to the floor was totally erased. As this happens all the time, nobody seems to notice or care enough to say anything. No one gives a thought to how odd it is for this to happen every single day. The scene playing out before me seems to never change from day to day. The same exact lessons, the exact same subject, the exact same content. Today we're going to study the biography of Dr. Peaceman, a talented physician who... Miss Fujimura is conducting class today the same way she does every day. You may not know, but when I was young, an unknown pathogen was the cause of a serious epidemic. In fact, outbreaks were common, but now, most illnesses are cured using nanothingimajigs. And FYI, I'm still young. This will be on the test, so be sure you don't forget it. I mean it. Her ensuing laughter stopped short at her eyes, which seemed deadly serious. Just as everybody's about to call Fujimura out, the bell signaling the end of class rings. Alright, that's all for today. Be sure to study hard tonight, and don't forget about those important points I told you about. While today's class wasn't all that boring, it is a relief when the bell rings. As the bell signaling the end of the day sounds, students begin to break off into small groups. Thank God that's over. I was getting sick of all the busy work. Being a student sucks. The worst part of the whole deal is having to attend these stupid classes. You're still here? That's unusual. You don't have any plans, like a date or something? I'm just messing with you. I know you're too big of a nerd to ever get a date. I mean, you just go to your dork club, the journalism club, right? Well, seeing as you're as boring as stale white bread, your life is exactly as it should be. You know exactly what your role in life is, and you stay there. Well, catch you later. See you in class tomorrow. So this all seems rather artificial, like overtly so. Hey, the editor-in-chief of the journalism club is calling a general meeting. You'd better go. Okay, so I guess people with speech bubbles over their heads have important things to say. I guess the journalism club's been busy. I mean, with all the weird stuff happening. Weird stuff? Recently, a lot of students have been getting hurt. Rumors that there's a slasher on campus. It just seems kind of pathetic to just head straight home after school. I should join a club. I hate wearing uniforms. I should have gone somewhere that lets you wear regular clothes. What? I'd kill to be able to wear the black uniform of the student council like you. Okay, where am I going? Sorry. Okay, journalism club. I don't know where that is. Editor-in-chief is calling for you. You better go talk to her. Where is she? What's going on? More drama? Oh, hello. Look who's here. It's the newspaper club's ace. Gotten any leads? What? Did you forget? You have to write an Unsolved Mysteries of Sukumihara article. Come on, I told you yesterday. There isn't very much time left before the deadline. Well, whatever. Your work's always good, so I'll leave this in your capable hands. Geez, my benevolence is like a Black Panther running around. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. So that's that. I've done some of the investigating, it's your job to do the rest. Don't look so surprised, there is a method to my madness. Okay, so about the first preview edition, the one called Gateway to the Paranormal. So, listen, there's supposedly an entrance to the spirit world at the rear of the archery range. One time a male student who got bullied a lot was told to pick up trash there and vanished. Everybody's totally convinced that there's paranormal activity going on back there. Isn't that scary? I mean, ridiculous? Anyway, go sniff out the truth. Leave no stone unturned. Your nose and eyes are the tools of the trade for a journalist, got it? You're the mysterious one. Your reply should be yes, ma'am. Alright, hop to it. Well, luckily I do know where the archery range is. So that's convenient. Out of the blue, a feeling that something was moving behind the door overcame me. As a rule, students aren't allowed inside of the supply room. It might just be a rat or something. For some unknown reason, I find my eyes drawn to the door of the supply room when the door is suddenly and violently thrown open. What do you think you're doing? Without warning, a man appears from out of the shadows. Dressed in black with a dour expression, the person in question is very intimidating. But that sense of intimidation is immediately replaced with extreme discomfort and unease. A sudden, overwhelming sense of danger gives me goosebumps all over my body. His cold, blank stare sends chills down my spine as though he's marking me for death. For some reason, it feels as if he's deciding whether to break my neck or skin me alive. This might be a game where I go hang out on the right side of the screen just thinking about it. Odd, your name doesn't appear to be on the list, but I'd better make sure. He begins to mutter under his breath while at the same time he reaches out with his right hand. The chills running down my spine gain intensity as waves of nausea and vertigo wash over me. I feel like a rabbit watching the wolf draw near. Maybe this isn't just raw terror. I think he's holding something that's making me feel this way. You're not even trying to fight. My instincts aren't as sharp as they should be. I need to rest. The note of disgust in his voice is obvious as he slowly lowers his hand. The paralysis that seemed to take hold of me suddenly fades away. The man continues to look down on me with those dead eyes of his. Students are forbidden from entering the supply room. You do well to remember that. The campus is about to close. If you have nothing else to do, I advise you to go home now. Is there anything else? My name is Mr. Kazuki. I will be teaching here starting today. The man who introduces himself as Mr. Kazuki turns and heads back into the supply room. With that, the final bell begins to chime, signaling the end of the school day. Everything begins to progress as normal, as if nothing out of the ordinary had happened. But I'm still sore and slicked with sweat. An all too real reminder of what happened. Game audio could be higher? Alright, I thought it was too loud so I turned it down a bit. I can fix that though. Wonderful. Now we have a teacher with obvious murderous intent teaching at our school. Yeah, hold on, let me let's do this, 25% louder. Remind me to fix that later, please. I'm gonna go check out the archery range. You caught me in the middle of cleaning. Those archery club kids don't even unstring their bows. The worst is when they leave their arrows stuck in the target mound. I usually make the kids do it, but there's no club activities leading up to exams, so I'm doing it. Huh? An entrance to the spirit world? That's just a rumor, it's not real. Exams are right around the corner, so don't waste your time on stuff like that. Go home, shoo, shoo. What appears in the archery range isn't an entrance to the spirit world, but Miss Fujimura? Well, I can't say I'm surprised she's behind one of Sugimahara's mysteries. It's fitting. I'll report this tomorrow so I can go home now if I want. A day will pass if I go home. I think I'll poke around a little bit longer. If I want to leave, I should head out through the main gate. I don't know if there's stuff that I can loot. I can see the target mount. The targets are about 30 yards away. Tsukimihara Academy has a much larger archery range than most other high schools do. Its size just goes to show what a big deal the archery club is at Tsukimihara Academy. The side gate is closed. If one leaves school, I should exit the main gate. Nobody right now? Alright, I'll go home. I'm not actually sure where the thing is. Oh, here we are. Maybe I should just go home now. Sure, let's save our game. There's no like audio cue or anything, it kind of throws me off. I imagine days remaining is until everything goes to heck. As I walk into class, the girls that normally flock around Shinji Mato aren't there. Shinji seems to be in a bad mood today. His usual policy of girls is keeping their distance. I'll ask him if something happened. What? Like I tell you if anything happened to me? Which it didn't. Nothing happened at all. Hey, you know that Ice Queen Rin Tosaka? She thinks she's so much better than everybody else. At first, I thought that she would be the only one who understood how lonely it is at the top. I tried talking to her yesterday, but I got nowhere. Maybe I just intimidate her or something. I might have lost a few points for getting violent, but girls who talk back to me get slapped. I'd never hook up with such a violent, stuck-up bitch like that, no matter how hot she is. What a waste. She'd be perfect if she just kept her mouth shut. You agree with me, right? Right? Looks like there's some tension between Shinji and Rin Tosaka. Knowing Shinji, he probably hit on her and got shot down. And why'd she take a shot at me? I thought she was going to spinning star kick me next. He continues to whine under his breath. I can only imagine how sleazy Shinji was being with her. Normally his super aggressive approach works, but obviously it didn't with Rin Tosaka. Life's more interesting when it's got little shakeups like this. As if right on cue, Miss Fujimura barges into the classroom as the bell sounds. Need it. Good morning, everybody. Alright, nobody's absent and there are no announcements. Let's start homeroom. As soon as she turns to reach for the chalk, she trips and falls as she always does. As she falls, her fingernails drag across the blackboard with a horrifying sound. And thus, another typically mundane day begins anew. And though the Great War had finally come to an end, regional conflicts still persist. Despite the suffering of the previous generation, battles are still waged 30 years on. Standing behind the lectern today is the school's newest teacher, Kazuki. Although he's supposed to be teaching math, his lesson seems to have gone off on a tangent. Now, instead of armies, attacks in ever greater numbers are being carried out by terrorists, and in an attempt to suppress those terrorists' groups. With that, the bell signaling the end of the classes sounds, and with the end of the day here, the tension in the classroom drops immediately. Alright, let us end here today. Oh yes, before I forget, there's an announcement from the student counselor. Recently, a rise in the number of slashing incidents has made the surrounding area dangerous. With that in mind, keep any detours to a minimum and head home as quickly as possible. Get home quickly? Good advice, but I still have to finish a few assignments for the journalism club. Why I'm so gung-ho about investigating the school's 7 wonders is a mystery, even to me. But it seems important for some reason. I have to turn in yesterday's report. I better go see the editor-in-chief this evening. Hey, guess what? I just passed this gorgeous girl on the stairs. Could she be a new student? What? I'm sure you're just talking about Rin Tosaka from Class B. Rin Tosaka? Never heard of her. You've really never heard of her? Pretty, athletic, smart, classy? Or a stuck-up Miss Perfect who all the guys adore and all the girls despise? It wouldn't be unrealistic to call Rin Tosaka the most popular girl in the whole school. Are you pulling my leg? Girl, you're so dense you probably wouldn't feel it if I pulled your leg anyway. What? I'm not dense. Much. But she wasn't wearing her school uniform. She was wearing red. How do you explain that? I don't know. Hadn't noticed. Maybe I'm remembering wrong. You would. Come on, let's hurry to our club. Oh, it's me. I am not Rin Tosaka. Yeah. Oh, our club's ace. Did you find out anything yesterday? Interesting, so it was Tiger. Of course there's no interest in the spirit world. Thanks to you, the article will be great. Are you ready for the next article assignment? The next unsolved mystery is... Yesterday there was a girl dressed in red on the rooftop. Rumors about Little Red Rooftop were spreading. Go find out what this is all about. A journalist lets the news guide their feet to the rooftop. You know, Rin is a protagonist of Unlimited Blade Works. I turned the doorknob and the metal door opened silently on its hinges. As a rule, nobody's allowed up on the roof, but I can see somebody's elongated shadow. The vibrant colors set off by the setting of the sun is enough to take one's breath away. Under the now blood-red sky, a single girl looks out onto the town that spreads out below. Like a figure out of a painting, the girl seems to shine with the same red glow as the setting sun. What a beautiful sunset. I can only imagine how captivating this sight must be to the people who live here. It is indeed a very beautiful scene. A shame that it doesn't really exist. On the surface, it seems like such a benign, peaceful world. A pity that it'll soon come to an end. This place is merely an idealized imitation of the real world, and one done in poor taste. I wonder if there's any value to a memory that can only be observed and then left behind. I'm not quite sure if that last statement was supposed to express disgust or disappointment. As she finishes speaking, a faint smile forms on the girl's lips as she slowly turns in my direction. Her unwavering gaze makes it seem like she can see things hidden to others. Her eyes seem to shine with an intensity that rivals that of the fiery red of the evening sky. What's this? A notice from the system? Thanks for bringing it to me. That's not it. That must be one of the generic students. If one of the irrelevant NPCs can get up here, I guess I'll have to find out another place to hang out. Continuing to mumble quietly to herself, the girl quickly walks my way. Oh well, at least this is a good opportunity for me to look one of you over. Stand still, you. Unexpectedly, her finger reaches out and touches my cheek. Wait, what's this? Is this a warning from the system? Direct interference does break the rules after all. She got deleted. Mumbling to herself, the girl disappears without a trace. It's like nobody was ever there at all. She vanished? There or not, her form has been indelibly burned into my mind. Oh, you're still here. It's almost time to leave school, so you should prepare to go home. What's wrong? You look a little pale. The sound of Issei's voice pulls me back to reality. I must look completely dazed and confused. Maybe I'm tired, or... I'll talk with the editor-in-chief again tomorrow. In any case, I think the course of wisdom for now will be to go home like Issei says. It's obviously not exactly the same, but I'm reminded of the opening to SMT3. people standing around talking awkwardly about how the world's going to come to an end. It's got a very similar vibe. I enter the classroom. Once again, Shinji, in the seat next to me, has a full house. I'm telling you, you don't have any talent. Give up before you look like a... So you know what he said to that? What? What did he say? We're dying to know, tell us. This wuss gets all boo-hoo and he says, I'll keep practicing until I get better. I can at least get better than you, who skips practice. Sorry, I have to laugh. Anybody knows that you can't practice your way into being a genius. If he wants to practice something, he should practice not sounding like a tool. The guy's not a total maggot, but he's still trash that needs to find a garbage can. That moron. People aren't created equal. Even people who are born above average can never reach the same heights as the naturally gifted. You must be so talented if you don't need to practice, Mato. I feel bad for that kid. Trash can't help being trash. It should learn to stop dreaming about being something better. The bell rings. In response, the gaggle of girls shuffle off to their own seats. While we wait for the teacher to arrive, I get caught up on what Shinji said for some reason. Whether or not Shinji has innate talent, I think it's pretty clear that I'm a nobody. A nobody with no goals. I mean, when I try to even think about the future, I get overwhelmed. As long as I keep plodding along, someday I'll reach my totally average future. Yay. That's what happens to everybody, right? Are there actually people who break the pattern? How? I have no idea. For me, today is just another ordinary day. Good morning, everyone. Suddenly, my heart accelerates, each beat painfully strong. It's as if my body's on high alert. I know it's not a reaction to Miss Fujimura. No. Well, kids, this is a little out of the blue, but today I want to introduce you to a new friend. Oh, thank you for the hydrate. It's him. That blonde boy is the one who's causing my body's fight-or-flight instincts to prickle. Go on, Leo. Introduce yourself. For what purpose? Well, Leo, you'll be attending school with these people, so I'm sure they'd like to know who you are. Ah, I see. These good people do not know my name yet. He steps forward and then in a louder voice says, Everyone, my name is Leonardo Bistario Haraway. In time, it will be a name known to all the world. But for now, it is the name of your classmate. I'm pleased to meet you all. I hope we enjoy our time together. The classroom is silent. There aren't even any jabs at his eccentric manner of speaking, or any coos over how pretty he is. Instead, the entire classroom is enthralled by his regal bearing, entranced even. Shinji's words come to mind. This is what it means to be on a different level. None of us plebes could ever hope to reach the level that this new kid lives on. It's not overextending to call his very existence transfixing. Like deer in headlights, we're immobilized by a presence far brighter than our own. His natural place is above us, looking down as our king. How did somebody like him end up here? It must be a mistake. Anyway, everyone, please make Leo feel welcome. Then, Leo, if you would please take a seat. It looks like the third seat in the second row from the right is open. Will that be okay? Leo? Ah, you're addressing me. I see no reason to not allow you to call me Leo, as it didn't feel awkward to hear it from you. If you have the chance, I'd very like for a delightful woman like you to visit my country. What? Jeez, don't joke with your teacher. To your seat, Leo. I won't smack you since, well, it was kind of flattering to hear you say that. Of course, I appreciate your diplomacy, Miss Fujimura. Then, the boy gave the kind of easy smile that only kids can. That simple smile washes away the tension in the room, and people even begin to smile themselves. I think he's not so much a king as a prince. He may be above us, but he also has natural charisma that draws us up to his level. However, it seems that there is at least one person in class whose mileage varies. I don't like him. Flirting with the teacher already? That arrogant little twerp. Shinji's clearly not happy. If you have any questions, ask anyone in the class or myself. Come to me first. There's no need to be shy. Yes, I understand. I'm pleased that I'll be attending such a good school. Am I imagining things? Just for a second I thought he shifted his attention toward me. Not toward anyone else, not even Shinji who's still bad-mouthing Leo, but to me alone. Yeah, right. There's no way a practically otherworldly person like him would notice bland me. The school day ended with nothing else of interest occurring. But that Leo, I can't shake the uneasiness he awoke in my heart. It feels like cogs somewhere have become misaligned. No, I'm just excited for once, because for once something happened. Well, besides what happened yesterday. I should report yesterday's findings to the editor-in-chief. Oh, our club's ace. Did you find out anything yesterday? What? Little Red Rooftop vanished before your eyes? If she disappeared, then there isn't anything we can do about that. Nothing we can do? What's with the editor-in-chief's reaction? It's not right. I thought she'd say something like, hey, don't scare me like that. Actually, the problematic part is how nonchalant she is that a person disappeared. Your next story will be The Mystery of the Courtyard Chapel. The editor-in-chief keeps talking like nothing happened. She's already on to the next thing. Should I say something? Hey, did you know that there's a chapel on campus even though this isn't a mission school? It seems the chapel's been here longer than the school. This is just rumor, but they say that it's haunted and magic rites are performed there. I'm sending you to investigate. The entrance to the courtyard is on the end of the right side of the first floor hallway. Oh, they dead. That girl that was like closer to me, her head was clipping into the fountain. Like, see right here, right next to me? Her head's clipping into the stones. Well, that's one way to solve the problem, I guess. God. The man stands like a black stain, tainting the joyfully multicolored flower beds around him. It's the new teacher, Kazuki. But the man standing in front of me isn't acting like a teacher by any stretch of the imagination. I want to flip to the right side of the screen. I was talking about that earlier. I guess I can do it now. Hold on. Do this. I'll just skip myself over here. There we go. The sick malignancy of overbearing aggression fills the air, and then scattered around him are dead bodies of students? Why did you come in here? I'm certain I locked that door. I suppose I'll test you out. His thin lips hardly moved, but in the next instant, I'm bowled over, as if struck by an invisible force. Chaotic thoughts bury my brain like endless grains of sand. What happened? Can I move my limbs? Seriously, what was that? Kazuki hasn't moved. Nobody else is nearby. Who? Why? How? My thoughts whirl. My heart races. I see what you are now. It isn't you, I suppose. His voice was a quiet hiss, but I could hear everything he said. This man with cold, inscrutable eyes raises his palm toward me. When I come to, I'm collapsed in the garden. The garden is silent. There's not even a trace of Kazuki or the corpses that have been there. I am uninjured, though my body aches from laying on the hard ground. The cold sweat that had covered me is gone too. Only the piercing pain in my head remains. Maybe it was just a bad dream. I gulp air and attempt to stand. The ground seems to move under my feet. I'm delusional. Of course the ground isn't moving. I'll give my report to the editor-in-chief tomorrow and just go home for today. Day of, whatever this event is. When I enter the classroom this time, things are a bit different. Wow! Okay, then how do you solve this problem, Leo? In this case, you substitute this for this and divide everything by x. It's the same simple equation that you used earlier. Wow, you're right. Thank you, Leo. Unlike somebody else, he helps out his classmates without displaying an ounce of condescension. And that somebody is directing a nasty scowl toward the new kid. That bunch of brown-nosing idiots will suck up to anybody who's got bigger pea-brains than theirs. Whatever. It's no skin off my back. People who are ugly inside are ugly outside too. It seems that Shinji's gaggle of female admirers has migrated to Leo's desk. For once, Shinji's irritation is kind of understandable. I'll give him this. The brat is a real charity worker, laying on the charm for those sows. He's desperate to appear smarter than me, but I'm the real smart one here. I see what he's doing. That dumb little kid doesn't know that I'm onto him. Reacting to Shinji's voice, Leo glances this way. Leo's expression is inscrutable, but not hostile. What do you want? You want to go? After a few false starts, Shinji finally manages to squeeze that out in a low voice. I don't know if Leo heard, but he gets out of his seat. The recoil turns into a noticeable flinch, which Leo smiles kindly at in response. Unlike Shinji's, Leo's gestures are filled with dignity. If I have unknowingly given you cause to be malicious, I would like to deeply apologize. Shinji Mato, was it? I'll be careful not to upset you in the future. His message firmly delivered, Leo returns to his seat. His soft voice bore no note of hostility or resentment. I know it's hard to believe, but maybe Leo wasn't upset. He knows when to bow down to true authority, it seems. I'm such a nice guy. I'll just accept his apology. Yeah, it's not like he ever pissed me off. After visually confirming that Leo is otherwise occupied, Shinji feigns calmness and leans back. Made it. Good morning, Evie. And thud. That sound makes me cringe no matter how many times I hear it. Everybody's desensitized to it for the most part. Even knowing that she'll jump to her feet in a few seconds, we should probably worry more. Shinji still seems to be in a bad mood. It's obvious that he doesn't like Leo all that much. But with him, it's impossible to tell if he's really mad or just being cynical. Either way, it's just more of the same. Just like our homeroom teacher's daily dramatic entrance. And once again, the day begins. Alrighty then, let's pick up where we left off. According to Dr. Peaceman's biography, during class I thought I saw Leo smirk a little, but other than that, nothing exciting occurred. Today's just another boring day in a long string of boring days. Who here knows what amnesia is? It's a terrifying condition where an individual loses all of their memories. It's caused by brain damage, severe trauma, or even infections of one's mucous membranes. The secretion of the doctor's biography we just covered touches on this condition. The cure for such a scary condition was discovered by Dr. Peaceman. With that said, using amnesia as an excuse for forgetting your homework isn't going to fly. When I was young, a fair number of my classmates were unscrupulous enough to try this. And before you get any ideas, I'm still young. In fact, I'm putting that fact on the test. Hold that thought. Fate, Taiga, age. 25 or older. Yeah, she's young. As per the norm, Tiger's lecture starts to beat her out. Just as a collective this again starts to rise from the students. Miss Fujimura. Without being acknowledged by the teacher, Leo suddenly rises to his feet. The tension in the classroom ratchets up immediately as all eyes focus on Leo. The young boy surveys the room with a mysterious smile, taking in everybody's startled glances. Oh, and of course, my fellow classmates. It is time for me to leave. We'll probably never meet again, so I wish you all well. What the? My head. The pain. And before I forget, Miss Fujimura, I think you're still young, even now. Just your presence is enough to remind me of the beauty of youth. You're a remarkable person. After what seemed to be a very slight bow, he immediately seems to disappear from the room. Alright then, let's continue. Please turn to page 86. And accompanied by the sound of flipping pages, the lesson goes on as if nothing had happened. Showing off like that in the middle of class? What a jackass. If you have to use the John, be a little more discreet. And that I have to leave crap. Seriously, isn't he supposed to be some kind of aristocrat or princeling or something? Of course, what just happened is impossible. A highly suspicious disappearance in the middle of class and the teacher doesn't seem to care. No one in class says anything and the class continues as if nothing strange has happened. It was the same dull, dreary scene as yesterday, and the day before. This can't be natural. After Leo's exit from class, the lesson continues unabated, as if following a set script. Strange. This is definitely strange. It's as if the world tilted slightly and everything within it is losing its sense of presence. My head feels like it's going to explode. The pain is making it hard to remember who I am. Wait, come to think of it. I mean, really? Who am I? What is my name? How old am I? Where do I live? How many people are in my family? What was my life like before I started attending this school? I can't remember anything. My memory's been completely erased somehow. How and why did this happen? That's right, the editor-in-chief of the journalism club. As the president of the journalism club, she should at least know my name. I know I had to have filled out something when I first joined the club. I'll ask her. Hopefully she'll be in her normal spot. Okay, but before we do that, we're going to take a 5-minute break. Please use this time to refill your beverage, go to the bathroom. Anything that would take you approximately 5 minutes. I'll try to fix things behind the scenes, no promises though. See you shortly. return. Yeah, so I have a suspicion as to why my bot broke, but I can't check without closing and reopening OBS, which would end stream, so I'm not gonna do that. That's mostly just an inconvenience for me. Oh, our club's ace. Did you find out anything yesterday? The editor-in-chief is her usual cheery self. All I can think about is the pile of dead bodies that I witnessed. No, I have to ask about myself. I'll ask her what my name is. Huh? Your name? Just look it up in the registry in the library. Yeah, the school registry, it has everybody's names. If I look at the school registry, it might jog my memories. I'll go to the library. I like how she's not like, oh, your name is this. She's just like, go look it up. You want to see the registry of names? It's on the bookshelf in the library, I think. You learn to Google. I found it. Sukimihara Academy Student Registry. Once I read through this, I should be able to remember everything about myself. I opened the book and began turning pages. Immediately I noticed that something is terribly wrong. The pages are blank. Blank, blank, blank. Every single page was blank. I reached for last year's school registry, and when I start flipping through the pages, blank, 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 blank. What is happening here? Who am I? And just what is this place? There's something wrong with this place, but more worrying is the fact that I can't remember who I am. As I wander the campus, I see Leo walking down a hallway on the first floor. As a transfer student, I can't see why Leo would want to visit any of the freshmen. Also, there's nothing but a dead end up ahead. I wonder what Leo's really up to. I suddenly have this weird feeling that someone or something is up ahead in the hallway. Who, for some reason, is examining the wall at the end of the hallway with almost excessive interest. The attention to detail is quite impressive. Even the surrounding air is surprisingly substantial. If that's the case, this world is in some ways more real than the real world it represents. But that's just my opinion. How about you guys? What are your thoughts on this? In that moment, it feels like my heart skips a beat. Almost immediately, my blood pressure skyrockets along with my body temperature. Ba-dump, ba-dump, ba-dump. My pulse is like an explosion in my ears as my blood races through my veins, and the reason is clear. Now Leo, has turned to face me. I now know for sure that he's talking to me, as there's nobody else present besides the two of us. Greetings. I believe this is the first time we've had an actual conversation. I don't feel any sense of hostility from Leo. In fact, his smile seems genuinely friendly. His smile has the same effect on me as the rising of the morning sun, warm and comforting. In addition to his smile, his presence is inviting and inclusive, and I find myself drawn to him. Oddly, my worries have vanished. All I can think of is doing as he says, as that's the only way to... My mind feels like it's in a haze. It's like Leo is controlling my thoughts in some way. Attending school wasn't half bad. I've never had the opportunity to go to one before now. In that respect, this has been quite an interesting experience. However, the time for fun has come to an end. I didn't come here to play at being a student. No matter how enjoyable the detour, eventually one must return to their appointed path. And for me, the time to do so has arrived. With those final words, Leo turns his back on me. Farewell? No, that's not quite right. I don't think farewell would be accurate in this situation. For reasons I cannot explain, I have the distinct feeling that we will see each other again. So I guess I should use the more congenial "see you later." Well, it's time for me to move on. I wish you the best of luck. With those final words, Leo disappears. It's like he ceases to exist. One moment his hand is on the wall, the next he's gone. The young man in front of me seems to disappear before my very eyes. I want to say reality rejected his existence in it, but it feels like it was the opposite, that he refused to be constrained by it. It wasn't any special ability that allowed him to do so, just his strength of will. With his departure, I feel as if a great weight is lifted from my very being. And rather than be a cause for concern, it brings a fundamental question to mind. Who am I? As the question pops into my head, it begins to take on a life of its own, searing my brain. I investigate the wall that Leo disappeared through. It's just a concrete wall at the end of the hallway. About the only thing on the floor is dust. But I'm positive there must be something here because Leo walked through the wall. It'd be so easy to turn around, go back down the hallway, and pretend nothing happened. But there are still things that I need to know. I have no memories. That means I've never had anywhere else to go but here, no place to return to. What was it that Leo said? No matter how enjoyable the detour, everybody must return to their appointed path. That's what he said, didn't he? That behind this wall lies the appointed path and the truth. Oh, thank you for the hydrate. If I follow him, I'll learn the answers to my questions, even if those answers are painful. But ignorance is bliss. Do I have the fortitude to face the truth and accept it? I imagine that this is like an early bad end. I want to know. Something's different. Down to the floors and the walls, the school has changed the very substance of its being. For some reason, reality cracking this way is intensely disturbing. This world around me is more real than a painting, but not even as real as a sandcastle. I feel like it's so brittle I could tap it and the echo would shake the whole world. Where the boring concrete wall once stood, now there's a doorway that I can freely walk through. It's an entrance. No, an emergency exit like the stairs to the outside. It's not something of this world. I have no doubt that the world the door leads to is utterly alien. Whatever awaits inside, whatever shape it takes, there's a certain sort of finality to seeing it. Ultimately, I've already committed to this path. I bid farewell to the false world and take my first step along the appointed path. Beyond the door seems to be a dismal-looking scrapyard. Out in front of me is the smooth-skinned effigy. While trying to figure out exactly what to do with it. Welcome, potential master. A voice comes out of nowhere. That effigy with you is your sword and shield for what lies ahead. It will move in response to your commands. Now then, please proceed. The truth that you seek lies ahead. The motivations of the owner of that voice worry me, but it's obvious I won't learn anything by standing here. Also, there's no longer a path by which I can return. I have no choice but to head into the darkness with only this strange doll as protection. Kingdom Hearts, hello? I made it. Within the deepest depths of the world beyond the door. This place must be the goal I'm supposed to reach. At least that's what I thought. It's stifling, the aura of purity that seems to act as a ward against corrupted souls who try to enter. The feeling is familiar. It has the feeling of a chapel where the spirits of the deceased still linger. At first I didn't notice being overwhelmed by the grandeur of the room. But to one side is a young man in a familiar uniform lying still on the ground. I call out to him, but there's no reply. I shake him in an attempt to wake him up when I notice. He's stone cold. I go as pale as the corpse before me and I can no longer think coherently. All I can do is stare in bewilderment. It is at this moment. The fallen effigy lying next to the male student comes to its feet with a clatter. Before I get a chance to make sense of what's going on, it suddenly twists around and comes right at me. Low-key getting my butt kicked and I'm not even... I haven't even taken actions yet. This feels kind of one-sided if I'm being perfectly honest. Well, that was rude. Huh. You seem to be lacking as well. I didn't stand a chance against that thing. It seems I wasn't qualified to be here. Me? Qualifications? That's right. I should know everything by now. The truth has to be here. But now, everything's going dark. I'm not even really scared. The only feeling that remains in me is regret. Even at the very end, I was unable to remember anything about myself. Someone, anyone, if you make it beyond here, please don't forget my name. Oh, anime opening. I hope I don't get in trouble for that song having played. His story has ended. But what about yours? Before you write your own story, choose the vessel of your power. A woman who wields a sword boldly, a stoic warrior clothed in red robes, a fox girl, let's go. Magical fox girl. Caster, maniac, a half-demon shaman clad in revealing robes. This servant is for players who want to be challenged by facing true adversity in battle. She's a fox, that's all I need to know. Let's go. I always awaken very abruptly. I don't even think I dream. I suddenly find myself walking to school. My headache worsens day by day, until it finally buzzes in my head like an alarm. That day, in potent numbness, I wake up twice as fast as normal. I walk to the schoolyard. It's clear and cloudless, 7:30 a.m., but what season is it? When I try to recall what season it is, I start to get so dizzy I almost pass out. I may wind up back in bed if I let go and faint. For some time, I've been embracing a rush of useless information. The normal stuff you'd see at a school, like the hustle and bustle of my classmates by the entrance. It hasn't changed. It hasn't changed. When I push the thought, my field of vision fizzles. Today, again today, there's a crowd of students milling in front of the school gate, and more are being directed that way. That's what's going on. There's a boy in a black uniform in front of the school gate. He's my friend, as I recall. He's Issei Ryudo, as I recall. I remember this from the first time. When Issei notices me looking at him, he pushes through the crowd. Good morning. Lovely weather we're having, don't you think? Why do you look so surprised? We announced at last week's assembly that this month the student council would strictly enforce school rules. He runs through his spiel as if this was the first time he'd ever disclosed the information. I already know this. I know it. I already know what happens. It's happened more than once. I'm seized by a headache, and so dizzy that I feel like I'm being forcibly logged out of my consciousness. First, let me check your student ID. I shouldn't need to remind you, but it should be on you at all times. My login ID is being checked. It's so obvious now. I answer clearly to the question that usually makes me go dizzy. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Female, Ariel, let's go. I'd like to enter my last name, but how do I get over to the other side? Do I just fill it with spaces? Oh, here we are. Wait, hold on. Is this like Japanese layout? Should it be Fox Arial or Arial Fox? It's like I could see it going either way. It's Arial Fox? Okay. Iterative name? The patch fixed it? Gotcha. Ah, geez, nickname. I'm no good at coming up with names for things. I could just go with Fox a second time, but that feels like unimaginative. Harry? Maybe. That's what close friends call me? Gotcha. See, now that you phrase it that way, I've got, like, silly ideas. Yeah, let's go with Airy. Great, there's no telling when an emergency might occur, and it'll be a help if you have your ID. I feel nauseous, and I know it has nothing to do with what I ate for breakfast this morning. I feel nauseous because of the world around me. It's repeating itself over and over, and that's making me sick. Now for the uniform inspection. Collar, check. Pant hems, check. And your socks, check. I'm not wearing pants. I want him to get out of my way. I want this repetition to stop. I push him aside and go forward. I'm not nice about it either. Next is the contents of your bag. Notebooks, textbooks, pencil box, not even a whiff of contraband. Your nails are evenly cut and your haircut is sensible. Indeed, quite remarkable. You're a novel Tsukimihara Academy student. He keeps on talking loudly even though he's facing no one. I have a headache. I'm shivering. I know one thing for sure. This is wrong. This is not the school I know. It can't be. I have to go. I have to hurry and wake up or else it'll be too late. But who am I awakening for? My anxiety and headaches are only getting worse. Afternoon arrives while I desperately try to find a way to escape this bizarre situation. As is not the norm, my vision is overlaid with some kind of unnatural distortion. Uneasiness, futility, emptiness. I want someone to explain to me the true nature behind all of these feelings. There must be a key somewhere, something that will have the answers to all of my questions. I wasn't here. Whoops. I should probably check the roof to see if Rin's there. The door to the rooftop is locked. There's a do not enter sign hung on the doorknob. Alright. Oh, hello. The moment I step foot on the first floor, my feelings of unease intensify. There's a student wearing a red uniform, Leo, the new transfer student. The instant I lay eyes on him, I immediately feel intimidated and humiliated. There's also somebody trailing behind him. It looks like one of my classmates. The more I think, the more I realize that Leo isn't the only anomaly I've come across while on campus. There are other things that seem off as well. It's becoming clearer now. There are people who shouldn't exist. Students that mysteriously vanish. The fabric of reality is coming unraveled. Don't turn away now. What's the truth? Don't turn away now. What defines the world you know? Don't turn away now. There's a reason why you're here. Come, do not allow yourself to close your eyes to the truth. Leo and one of the guys from my class are talking in the hallway up ahead. attention to detail is quite impressive. Even the surrounding air is surprisingly substantial. If that's the case, this world is in some ways more real than the real world it represents. Also, this explains why his multiple person comment earlier. How about you guys? That's what I mean. I was wondering why he said that when there was only one of me. What are your thoughts on this? You guys? For a moment it feels as if he's including me in his comment. However, Leo begins speaking to my classmates, seemingly oblivious to my presence. Greetings. I believe this is the first time we've had an actual conversation. Leo gives me a smile with no hostility. However, I have the suspicion that there's something malicious behind his smile. Attending school wasn't half bad. I've never had the opportunity to go to one before now. In that respect, this has been quite an interesting experience. However, the time for fun has come to an end. I didn't come here to play at being a student. No matter how enjoyable the detour, eventually one must return to their appointed path. And for me, the time to do so has arrived. With those final words, Leo turns his back on me. Farewell. No, that's not quite right. I don't think farewell will be accurate in this situation. For reasons I cannot explain, I have a distinct feeling that we'll see each other again. So I guess I should use the more congenial see you later. Well, it's time for me to move on. I wish you the best of luck. Leo said as much, even going so far as to look in my direction. For some inexplicable reason, I'm not surprised that Leo knew I was spying on him. I'm trying to get things straightened out of my mind when Leo suddenly disappears. The student who's following him also disappears after touching the same spot on the wall. At the same moment he vanishes, my vision distorts and the shock threatens to overwhelm me. What's going on here? I wonder if this place is the source of my unease. You know, conversations that make more sense on a second read through are always a delight. Granted, the payoff's not usually so immediate. Like him, I place my hand on the wall expecting to be drawn in. I see now that the way to the truth to why I have these feelings begins right here. I want to know. The atmosphere changes. There's a doorway, an entrance where the concrete wall used to be. It's not something of this world. There's no doubt that this door leads to someplace unfathomable. I bid farewell to the false world and take my first step toward the truth. I do like the cubes in the background. An entrance to another world. Beyond this door, the previous statement perfectly describes the view before me. Walking behind me is my strange, silent attendant. It is to be my sword and shield for what lies ahead. A disembodied voice suddenly confirms my thoughts. Although I've yet to learn anything, I need to do something besides stand here. At the very least, there might be some clues to this bizarre experience up ahead. I have no choice but to head into the darkness with only this strange doll as protection. Oh, I'm actually in control this time, nice. I'll just do that so that Japanese voices don't talk over me since I'm narrating. Now, given that this thing is... oh, hello. Given that this thing is my sword and shield, shouldn't it be, on point? Like, if anything rushes out of the darkness with, like, impaling intent... this thing should be in front of me, surely. Macadamia servant's voice? Oh, hold on then. This game really likes its cubes. So do I. Cubes are my favorite primitive shape. Oh, a bunch of swords stuck in the ground. No longer a typical school campus, the floors and walls, the air, even the aura are slightly off. It wouldn't surprise me to see a monster pop up from the shadows. It's very much like a dungeon here. Welcome, potential master. With a shocking suddenness, a voice begins speaking. It sounds like it's coming from the empty sky above. If you're looking for answers, you must reach the goal. Now please step forward. Those look like floating bones. If they were gears, I'd have a better idea as to where I was. The illuminated cube in front of you is called an item folder. Inside of it is a farewell present of sorts for those about to face the coming trial. Touch it to open it. Oh, got an ether shard, nice. Okay, I don't seem to have a status menu yet. Before you is an enemy program. It's programmed to attack on sight. Touching it will initiate a battle. But you won't actually fight as you're too fragile. The effigy given to you will fight in your stead. If your effigy is ever destroyed in battle, you will no longer be shielded from harm. To put it bluntly, you'll die, so be very careful in battle. But there's no need to be afraid, for now. Just do what I say and you'll be perfectly safe for the time being. First off, why don't I explain a little bit about battles? First of all, there are 3 basic commands that you can issue in battle: attack, guard, and break. Each turn in battle is composed of 6 actions, and you'll need to tell your effigy what your strategy is to be. Battles are divided into turns, with 6 commands being issued each turn. Once confirmed, they'll be executed all at once. The enemy before you should be quite easy to defeat, as it will only perform break. Break, which is focused solely on power, shouldn't be much of a problem against attack. Use the attack command to destroy the program. Use directional buttons to choose a command, and then press X to confirm the selection. Enter 6 commands using the directional button, and then press X to annihilate the enemy. Alright, I know. Joke's on you, I was gonna do all-out attack anyway. The spin kick was completely necessary. So, how'd it go? One thing to know is that in each turn you'll have to plan a series of 6 moves that will defeat your foe. The goal is still far ahead. If you must bask in the afterglow of your victory, do so while moving forward. Overcome break with attack. Yep, seems pretty straightforward so far. Hello, Orb. Oh look, here comes another program. You seem nervous. Perhaps you're anxious about fighting in another battle? Do not be alarmed. That enemy isn't strong enough to harm you. It's programmed to only use attack. While attack is a potent action, using guard will allow you to defend and then counter-attack. Guard can be used to reduce the damage caused by an enemy attack, but I trust you know this. Now that you know how this battle will unfold, use the appropriate command to defeat the enemy program. Get hurt? Yes, that's exactly right. As you may have already noticed, performing 3 successful actions in a row result in a chain. By performing multiple chain attacks, you can perform a devastating follow-up attack on your opponent. So 3 in a row, I get an extra attack, which is really nice. While doing multiple chain attacks in the heat of battle may be difficult, the results make it worth the effort. Now, please proceed. I had been wondering what was up with those extra turns. Good to know that they aren't random. You should be used to the fundamentals of battle at this point, but I'll walk you through this one last time. This program will only use guard and do nothing in battle but defend against harm. But no matter how stout one's defense may be, it will be for naught against the break command. Remember, always use the appropriate command for any given situation. Extra turn here. Hell yeah. You've been through 3 battles and have used the attack, guard, and break commands. Someone as intuitive and observant as you must have already noticed this. Each of the 3 attacks balances each other out, creating a situation where no attack is dominant. The relationships are immutable. What I just covered is the absolute basics of battle and the minimum info that you'll need to know. Once you master the basics, all that's left is to test yourself in battle and gain valuable experience. Now please proceed. Ooh, big skull. All of the enemy programs you've faced so far only use one move, which won't happen in a real fight. Like you, your enemies will choose their actions based on the situation and general observation. Their actions will be very difficult for you to predict at first. As you face the same enemy multiple times, you'll be able to read their tendencies and patterns accurately. When I first enter, my opponent's supposed to be hidden from me. Whoops. I think it said being able to guess is a good thing. Though, considering your lack of fighting experience, I may be expecting far too much from you. But anyway, please try your best. Okay, so... attack, attack, break. I see 2 ways that this could go. It could repeat break, break, guard again, or it could be guard, attack, attack. I'm gonna guess it's guard, attack, attack. Oh no. Okay, so it's not quite that simple. So we were evenly matched when I brought in another break, so I'm going to attack into it. So yeah, it's attack, attack, break, I think. But it should die before then, actually. Get wrecked. Good job. Alright then, please proceed to the final room. I made it. At the end of a very long road, after going through a door that suddenly disappeared in the wall. The oppressive air of this place where the spirits of the dead still linger. Here's my goal. That's what I thought. Further in, it appears as if somebody had collapsed. When I look into his face, it's the student who was following Leo just now. I call out to him but get no reply. I shake him in an attempt to wake him up when I notice he's stone cold. I go as pale as the corpse before me and I can no longer think coherently. All I can do is stare in bewilderment. It is at this moment. The fallen effigy laying next to the male student comes to its feet with a clatter. After having to fight several enemy programs to get here, it's obvious that this thing is an enemy as well. Without warning, it suddenly twists around and comes right at me. You know, I got faked out too. Like, I thought that I could play as a girl, but then I was just like, oh, maybe that is the sequel. play. Ether Shard restores HP, good to know. I'm just gonna spin in a circle and see what happens. Oh dear. Is there some kind of like combat mod? Okay, hold on. Okay, I really should have paid more attention the first time around. Huh, you seem to be lacking as well. I can hear the sound of a distant voice. The time has come. With your inevitable loss, I will consider this round of preliminaries to be over. Farewell. I pray that you'll find peace in your annihilation. That is the voice's final words to me. I don't have the power to protest. All I can do is stare at the floor. I think I'm going to die here. Suddenly, at the edge of my now hazy vision, a number of brown-colored lumps seem to rise from the ground. Actually, it might be that I just noticed them now. They may have been there from the beginning for all I know. Those lumps are the bodies of an untold number of fallen Sugimahara Academy students. The guy before me wasn't the only one to fall. All of the others made it here and died, unable to do anything. And in a very short while, I suppose I'll become one of them. Maybe I should just close my eyes now. I did all that I could, so maybe it'd be better for a den now. No, I refuse to give up. I summon all of my strength in an attempt to get back on my feet. However, as I try to move, an unbearably intense pain shoots through my entire body. If that's how it's going to be... No, if this is... I still refuse to give up. I don't want it to end like this. I cannot ignore the intense pain coursing through my body. I've reached a point where I no longer see stars as my eyes feel like they're on fire. I feel like all 5 of my senses are being ripped from my body. I'm afraid. I'm afraid of the pain. I'm afraid of losing my senses. I'm afraid of becoming a corpse. And the most terrifying thing, disappearing without a trace for any reason at all. It's not right that I disappear here. My consciousness shot through with waves of distortion screams out against the injustice of it all. What was the purpose of suffering through those headaches just to fade away here and now? What were they all for if I just fade away here and now? I have to stand up. It's okay if I'm scared. It's okay if I'm in pain. I have to rise above all of that, because I have yet to fight of my own volition and on my own terms. Hey, you soul-type person over there. Wait just a second, really, just 1 second. I have absolutely no idea who you are or where you're from, but your lamentation, your perseverance. While other gods choose to ignore you, your cries have reached my ears. And with the god Ukanobutama as my witness, I say it's too early for this one to go to the realm of the dead. I mean, I'm sure this absolutely charming soul is a wonderful person. Please, can I have it? The sound of breaking glass is accompanied by a light cutting through the gloom. I managed to move my weary body and aching head to see what's happening. I didn't notice it before, but something was slowly rising up from the floor in the middle of the room. That form... Its appearance isn't much different from that of a human being, but something was different. Clearly so. The power emanating from it transcended that of any human or of any enemy I faced in getting here. An awesome power that seems as if it had vaporized anyone it touched swirls within my body almost against my will. Even if you weren't exactly clear why you need one, I brought you a Vulpine wife from the Imperial Tomb. Ah, you seem a little apprehensive. You're my master, right? Yes. Yay. Contract established. I look forward to fighting by your side, my dear master. To be honest, I hope that I could be a servant to somebody like you. Oh, my abilities might be a tad limited, so you might not be happy with me, master, but I'll try my best. She takes a hold of my hand and helps me to my feet. From the hand she had grabbed comes a sudden warmth, and then a sharp pain like I've been cut by a knife. On the back of my hand, as though tattooed, is a strange symbol that looks like some kind of crest. Totally confused, I alternate between staring at the mark of my hand and the person standing before me. And then a noise behind me brings me back to my senses. Turning around, I see that the effigy from before is still there, now in a fighting stance. I wince uncontrollably, recalling my previous defeat at its hands. Master, if it isn't any trouble, would you please leave this to me? I will obliterate that worthless wooden toy and erase any trace of its existence from this world. It would have been funny if I had to beat this thing with a doll and the game just loops over and over until you succeed and it just makes a big pile of bodies. That would be funny. Okay, this time around I can actually see what I'm doing, which is nice. Alright, that went pretty well. The battered effigy stops moving. There's no way it'll still function after being effectively torn apart. Thanks to you, my dear master, I was able to win while using only 5% of my power. She continues to talk. However, the sound of her voice doesn't quite reach my ears. The heat coming from the mark of my hand grew in intensity during the fight, and the resulting pain has become unbearable and burns through my consciousness. The mark imprinted on your hand is your command seal. It is proof that you hold dominion over a servant. You can use it to give 3 orders that must be obeyed. Think of them as disposable strengthening spells. It is also proof of your participation in the Holy Grail War. If you lose it for some reason, you'll die. Once again, I hear that voice. I somehow managed to ignore the pain and listen to what it has to say. I can understand your confusion, but before I forget, congratulations, you have endured much to make it here. Now rest for a while. You've achieved your first goal. It was an incredibly clumsy effort to say the least, but that's what made it all the more entertaining. I've had this duty for a long time, but this is the first time I've seen a master as helpless as you. Nevertheless, be proud of your achievement. Your quick thinking came as a result of nerves and rashness. Thinking about it, the voice sounds like that of a 30-year-old man, and it's really irritatingly smug. For some reason, I can see the owner of the voice as a priest, dressed in a somber cassock. Oh, you're curious about my identity? I'm honored, but I'm insignificant. I'm merely a part of the system. I'm just a guide, tasked with giving a standard message and giving the personality of a prior participant. I'm no more than words, no more than the mountain you just conquered, no more than a record of the past. A record. So if I raise any objections to this voice, does it mean I won't receive any answers in return? Exactly. Well, this is unexpected. You've received a commendation. Something about you having a light. I have no clue who would say such a thing. I have no clue who would say such a thing about me. But that short phrase struck my heart because, for some unknown reason, I knew the words were sincere. And as for, I expect good things from you, it sounded more like a command than an encouragement. Now, let us commence your baptism. You have proven yourself worthy of the honor. For most, the monotony of everyday life continues on without end. Your decision to look beyond the accepted and progress means that you have earned the right to exist. However, you have but taken the first step. Be jubilant, young knight, for the Holy Grail War begins now. I have no idea what he's talking about. The Holy Grail War? The right to exist? That is correct. An object of great power once existed in the world, one that could grant any desire. People called it the Holy Grail and fought endlessly in an attempt to gain sole possession of it. This war, the system that you find yourself in now, is an evolution of those struggles. You stand at the entrance of a deadly struggle where many wizards will perish in pursuit of the Holy Grail. Listen, Magi, had I not bestowed upon the earth desire, you'd be merely saints capable of committing sin. Now, fight to the death. The fiery throne of heaven will only receive those with the strongest of desires. The voice reverberates throughout this hidden chapel, as if it were the voice of a god. Kill? Magi? Holy Grail that grants wishes? These questions and more swirl inside my head and almost seem to carve themselves into my flesh. In war, a weapon is needed. That is your servant. They are the spear that pierces, the shield that protects. A heroic spirit whose purpose is to clear your way to the Grail. That is the one who stands beside you. I look over at the young woman with the foxtail, who returns my look with a glowing smile. She is my servant. It seems you have decided, and with that decision as payment, I now open the gates to the Holy Grail War. The marks on my hand, my command seal, once again begin to become excruciatingly painful. It's over. I can't take it anymore. I reach the limits of my endurance and my mind starts to shut down. As I lose consciousness, I can vaguely hear the voice's final words. Now, let the Holy Grail War begin. No matter the era, deciding who is worthy to battle is the divine providence of man. Magi who have been invited here by the moon, show me your true strength. Yes, I will save my progress. End of the prologue. The mire of the everyday slows off. A war between Magi. The wheel of fate turns. Weak one, temper your sword. And defend the value of your life. First week, first selection. 128 combatants. I think there's a power of 2, so I expect it to get cut in half every single week until there's just one. The sky burns. Houses collapse into ruin. People fall to the ground. Roads come to an end. The conflict started here. With this, the world that was will be restored. It is here that I alone had survived. Don't remember, never forget. Oblivion is salvation in sin, never forget. I was born from perdition. This must be a nightmare. This had to be somewhere. It could be anywhere. These events that occurred in the true memories of childhood. A torrent of blood flows and a voice resonating with bitter resentment can be heard. Lives fade away without a thought. Friends, family, strangers, all gone. Soldiers with guns, families try to hold together. A grotesque struggle to the last until a gentle peace descends as death comes to claim them. I could not accept all I have seen. The question of why never left me. Even with the divide between conflict and catastrophe, why did such a tragedy occur? No, more importantly, why has this world been turned into a hell on earth? A gentle rain begins to fall. All things once living fade away, leaving only one behind. Amidst the helplessness and despair, their souls' last feelings are of rage and regret. The rain wets their cheeks as their eyes close one last time, dying, forgotten, and alone. Seeing this, I struggle to rise from the depths of death. I will not accept what I have been shown. If I can live again, I will definitely... But there are no second chances, and before long the rain has cleansed the scorched earth. Never forget. I was born from perdition. What that means, somehow, please don't forget it. It seems I saw some sort of twisted, distorted dream. Interesting hex pattern on everything. With that, I wake up in the nurse's office. I must have collapsed and was brought here. So was that world, the effigy that blocked my way, and that servant, all a dream as well? No. This nurse's office is far different than the one I knew. It's similar, but off somehow. Ah, good morning, my dear master. I'm glad to see that you finally decided to wake up. The overwhelming, unforgettable presence of somebody suddenly appears beside my bed. I thought I was dreaming. But the ears and tail are real. There's no way to mistake her for human. But after seeing her incredible powers in the fight against the effigy, I don't care what she is. If you died, I was gonna curse everyone in sight. Anyway, welcome to the Holy Grail War. I'll double check the voices once I get the option to open the system menu again. You do know all about the Holy Grail War, right? Of course. I'm so sorry. I should have expected nothing less from my master. Okay, now that that's out of the way, let's get to the important stuff. Do you know what servants are? I do, but it hasn't been explained on camera, so I'll say I don't know. Hold on. Thank you for the hydrate. Wait, are alerts broken too? They shouldn't be. I'm sorry to embarrass you. I guess you need me to explain what servants are as well. Oh, thank you for the rotation. Yeah, I think I know what's going wrong. But yeah, I think that like all of my OBS integrations are broken. I'm gonna have to fix that after stream. Yeah, my rotation doesn't actually go through OBS, that's why it's working. Servants are heroic spirits drawn from history to help wizards fight in the Holy Grail War. Those whose actions continue to have an effect long after their deaths become heroic spirits. I'm not all that heroic, though. Anyways, servants are manifestations of those legends. But whether actual heroic spirits were summoned in past Holy Grail Wars is subject to debate. But this time, the Holy Grail has done a better job of reproducing heroic spirits than any human. Also, according to the rules of the Holy Grail War, servants are divided into 7 classes: Saber, Lancer, Archer, Rider, Caster, Assassin, oh, and of course, Berserker. I'm firmly ensconced in the Caster class. I'm especially good at long-range magic attacks. My fighting style might be a teensy bit difficult to get a handle on. I apologize for that. Caster. She seems unusually outgoing, but there's no denying her abilities as a servant. Wait, if all servants are heroic spirits, I wonder who Caster was in real life. Huh? My true name? I'm far too insignificant for you to bother with my true name, Master. Please, just call me Caster. That way my identity won't be revealed to our enemies, who could then use it against us. It's actually a thing. If you know somebody's legend, you might also know their weaknesses. Like, if you encountered a Lancer named Achilles, for example, you would know to go for the ankle. The heel, rather. With that, my servant disappears into the ether. However, I can feel their presence nearby. They must be staying out of sight while they're not needed so that their identity can't be compromised. But how their identity would be guessed just by their appearance is beyond me. Oh, hello there. Ah, Ariel, you're finally awake? I'm so relieved. You don't seem to have any injuries, so feel free to leave when you feel like it. Also, all of your memories have been restored by the Seraph, so don't worry. Any Magi that seek the Holy Grail have their memories suppressed and are given those of a student. Only masters who manage to recover themselves are allowed to enter the main tournament. Now that you've regained your memories, please review them to make sure that they're complete. Regained my memories? That's not right. Outside of my name, I can't recall anything of my past. I realized that everybody around me was forced to believe that they were normal students. However, I cannot remember a single thing that happened to me before then. Your memory restoration failed? I cannot help you. I, Sakura Mato, am just a custodial AI. My complaints were totally ignored. It seems that she can't act beyond her programming. Oh, I should give this to you before I forget. Ooh, portable terminal. She gives me some kind of portable terminal. I assume it's for getting messages and whatnot. As a participant, you should pay attention to any messages that appear on your terminal. The triangle in the arena brings up the terminal menu. Status gives me my servant's condition. Matrix tells me about enemies. Equip is equipment. Item is items, as well as mystic codes, which I presume are key items. And system is system. Oh, yeah, whoops. Accidentally left voices off, my bad, sorry. Let's save Arcane. Mystic Codes is equipment, actually, they're enchanted items. Like, I know that that's what a Mystic Code is, but they said equipment and Mystic Codes, so I assumed that they were distinct. Anyway, we're gonna take a 5-minute break here. Please use this time to refill your beverage, go to the bathroom, anything that would take you about 5 minutes. See you promptly. turn. It's kind of crazy how used you get to like automation and stuff. And then it's gone. Hello, Ariel. Have you met Father Kojamine yet? Good luck in the tournament. It'll test your limits. A faint voice can be heard coming from inside the chapel. I wonder if a service is being held now. But as I try to move closer to better hear the muffled voice, my body refuses to cooperate. Probably for the best. We do not want to make acquaintance with Kieran. If at all possible. Finally, the Holy Grail War is officially underway. Seeing as my memories were sealed away during the prelims, I'm surprised I made it this far. So this is the real thing, huh? The vibe here is totally different from the prelims. I went up to the rooftop to get a look at the sky. You should take a look. It's pretty wild. Oh, you've gotten through. That's excellent. You haven't seen Sugimihara until you've seen our rooftop. The fact that a bunch of, like, wizards would choose to take the form of high schoolers and fight in the school is a little bit beyond me. Oh hey, Rin. I've investigated the school from top to bottom, but there's nothing unique about it. The girl pats the walls and floors, murmuring something to herself. We've never met, but she can't be anybody but Rin Tosaka. She has a nice face and figure, gets good grades, and is popular at Sugimihara Academy. From what I hear, she makes Shinji jealous. However, she became popular while the school was at peace. Things are different now. That defiant gaze is nothing like the vacant smile of a popular kid. The Holy Grail War. Before I knew it, the school had been turned into a battlefield. Rin knows it too. Yeah, I hadn't registered it before, but we're all predators now. It's kill or be killed. I have to acknowledge that as the truth, even if I don't want to. Hey, you over there. Her eyes soften as she looks at me. Yeah, you. Haven't checked the NPCs out much yet. I know a simple way. Don't you move. Unexpectedly, her fingers reach out and touch my cheek. Such thin, delicate fingers. I realize how remarkable it is that so strong a gaze can come from so innocent a ring. Imagine that. You're warm, though you shouldn't be. That's weird, seeing a red cheek flush like that. Her face is just 3 centimeters from the tip of my nose, but my heart races at the closeness. Okay, so I'm canonically at least bisexual. Her breath exhales warmly against my cheek and her hair tickles my bare neck. Her pat down on my shoulders and stomach seems playful compared to the harsh gaze from earlier. Transfixed, I'm unable to move as her pale fingers slide over me. Interesting. You're more well-built than I'd expected. You look and feel real. Maybe more real than most people. Hey, what are you laughing at? It's to our advantage to look into everything, even the NPCs. She looks behind her, scowling. Although invisible, her servant must be there. She's a master too? No, a master should be more... Wait, that means when I felt up. She was thinking about it now, because she's blushing, as am I. How embarrassing. Shut up, I can make mistakes too, I know. Don't call me a pervert. I'm pretty sure she was addressing an off-color comment coming from her servant there. It could have been my imagination, or a hacker. Such a detailed NPC would rarely exist otherwise. Anyway, you're to blame for being confusing. You're too bland to be anything but an NPC. Nothing but a blank look on your face, even now. Were the prelims too boring to jog your memories? She touched on a subject that I'd rather not think about, even in jest. It kind of grinds me to a halt. No way. Your memories still haven't returned? That's really not good. Once you're to the Holy Grail War, the only way out is to win. Leaving prematurely isn't allowed. even without memories or previous battle experience, you still have to fight. Oh well, doesn't matter. You'll be defeated in the Holy Grail War soon enough. As the concern disappears from her voice, I glimpse the real Tosaka, my opponent in the Holy Grail War. It isn't personal. She considers everyone in the Holy Grail War her enemy. This woman doesn't understand that she's nothing compared to you. Are you letting her say that? Unlike my servant, I have no witty response to my future rival. I have to win. Now that I know what's at stake, I have to win. Well, I guess I pity you. We're not cracking into the system and destroying it, we're hacking. I don't know what's on the other side of the Seraph's wall once it goes down. Did your soul get jarred after you made it to the main event? If it's lost or unreadable, then how about you investigate later? Well, in any case, you don't look like you're cut out for fighting. Thanks to excitement or nerves, everything feels unreal, no matter if you have memories or not. You can't help feeling like you're in a dream. It'll be hard to win feeling so disoriented. Mr. Kenji, welcome. So I've lost no memories. Who am I? What's my story? What am I even doing in this Holy Grail War in the first place? All I know is that I'm a master with a servant at my command. We're just playing some FateExtra, first time playing this game. Once your opponent has been decided, it's like the tournament has officially begun. What? You don't know who you're fighting? You better go find Father Kotamine. Oh hey, Father Kotamine, what's up? Congratulations, you have been deemed worthy to be a participant in the Holy Grail War. You may call me Father Kotamine. I am an NPC assigned the task of supervising the Holy Grail War. As of today, you and your fellow Magi have been given the honor of fighting in the arena up ahead. The war is run as an elimination tournament, with the Grail being awarded to the last person standing. In other words, the participating masters will kill each other until there is only one person left. Simple enough to understand, yes? Even a complete idiot should be able to understand the rules. Masters get a 6-day preparation period before elimination battles, which occur on the 7th day. I'd advise you to use the time given to devise the most efficient means of slaughtering your foe. On the 7th day, you and your foe will fight. The winner lives and the loser is deleted. If you wish to make a query, speak now. The right to ask about the rules is given to all. How do I survive this? As I've already explained, after 6 days of preparation, you must kill your assigned opponent. You have chosen your servant to use as a weapon for that very purpose, have you not? Of course, the other masters are given the same time to prepare for battle and to kill. As for how to prepare, I cannot help you. Do whatever you feel is necessary. The terminal will relay any messages generated by the system which governs the Holy Grail War. It is the course of wisdom to pay heed to any message you may receive. Yeah, get some as prepared as it can be. I see. Good luck then. Is something troubling you? What was that? You've yet to be confirmed with your first round opponent? Wait just a moment. Strange. There seems to be a system error. I will locate your opponent by tomorrow. One last thing. Masters that continue to advance will be given a private room. Ooh, nice. Your room will be located in Classroom 2B. Please enter this password into your terminal. Well, the time for conversation has come to an end. The door ahead leads to the arena. For today, concentrate on becoming accustomed to the inner workings of the arena. The arena entrance uses the same door you went through during the preliminaries. Good luck. Hey Ariel, you'd be willing to do your poor teacher a tiny little favor, right? Of course. Thank you, you've made my day. So, my favorite kendo sword has up and disappeared. I stashed it in the supply room, but it somehow managed to find its way into the arena. Since I can't go in there, I need you to get my kendo sword and hand it over during the first round. I'm not here all the time, so you'll want to check back every now and then. Thanks again. Alright. Hehe. I managed to summon one hell of a powerful servant. Guess who? I bet you can't. come on, you can tell me. Do I look stupid? What makes you think I give away such important information? Command seals. I still got 3. I don't know how to send them, and to be frank, I don't want to. Because what if I need them more later? They appear to have no skills whatsoever. The door to the supply room is locked tight. Actually, it feels like it's sealed shut somehow rather than merely locked. Hey Ariel, you made it in? Now that Shiji can qualify, anyone with a pulse can. Making it to the final round's gonna be tough. Everybody here is the best of the best. Yeah, I'm not sure what best to do to prepare. I've dived into a lot of virtual worlds, but this is the most real. My compliments to the Seraph. Sometimes wishes really do come true. I'm so grateful to be here. If you want to hone in on victory, hone your body. Training does a body good, even a virtual one. You look like the kind of kid who enjoys a good sweat. You like to feel the burn, don't ya? Do I need direction? Stop me if I'm about to make a horrible mistake, but aside from that, let me figure it out for now. Of all the Harways they sent him, the Harway family must be really serious about getting the Grail. Oh, didn't you know? Leonardo is sitting pretty to be the next head of the Harway family. He must be some kind of prodigy to be chosen as heir at his age. I'm guessing I'm gonna go check out my private room. Huh? You're a master too? I know things just kicked off, but man, there are a lot of people here. Honestly, you look really absent-minded, so you better pull it together if you want to win. You know, I decided to participate with my honey, and we were able to get through the prelims. I had to gather as much information as possible for my honey. I entered into this war thingy with my darling, and we both made it past the prelims. Behold the terrifying power of love. Maybe you should find something to help you out, too. Do you two realize that, like, best case scenario, one of you is gonna have to kill the other? I don't think they thought this through. Father Kotamine must be an NPC. Like, he's the head honcho of the black shirts or something. He's definitely not human. Well, he's not humane, at least. I went with Paint Plane, but I was a pretty well-known Spiritron hacker in my hometown. Though, to see somebody like Tosaka here, I might be out of my league. Kotamine told me that Classroom 2B was my private room. If I hold up my terminal, I can enter. When I raise the terminal to the knob, I hear a low hum or maybe an incantation. The door opens. Of course she would. So, it's me and my dear master all alone. The Moon Cell really has an understanding of what's important. As we don't have to worry about eavesdroppers here, feel free to ask about anything you'd like. Caster seems to have a different take on this setup, but she's right in that we can talk freely here. If I need to talk with Caster for any reason, I should make it a point to come back here to do it. Huh, I think this arrangement will work. Please forgive me for taking the liberty of tidying things up a little. So, what do you think? It's not exactly the Imperial Palace, but it does have a regal air, does it not? I probably focused a little too much on my own predilections, but I know you're gracious enough to humor me. But I'd like you to add your own special touches from now on. And be sure to maintain it every day, so that one day it'll be the love nest that all will envy, okay? Yeah, Castor's got a bit of a one-track mind. It's kind of her thing. Check your room once a day? Good to know. I logged in on a whim and somehow made it through the prelims. I must be a prodigy or something. My first opponent is Tosaka. You're dead. You are so profoundly dead. But I'm not too worried about it. I'll take her out in a flash. If the classrooms are bullpens for masters, then everybody here must be a master. Everybody looks so strong. I hope I can keep up. Hey Fox, remember me? We were in the same class in the preliminaries. Of course. Don't worry, you don't have to pretend. We're both using the plain default avatars. People with custom avatars like Tosaka and Chigi must have some seriously mad skills. Okay, so this body isn't necessarily my true body. NPC conversations change once per week? Good to know. Ha, I'm such a lucky guy. My servant rules. Your servant's pretty awesome too. It's invisible, but I can tell. I like how there's actually like an in-universe explanation for most people looking like mob characters. It's kind of cheeky, I like it. Okay, so all the student council types are NPCs. They're dressed in black, figures. If you have a question, I'm sure they'll answer you or die trying. Huh, you're a master too. Don't come near me. I have nothing to say to you. Oh, interesting. This is an image database. I bet I can use it to find info about my enemy. I see, so that's it. Oops, excuse me. I just happened to be learning about my servant. He's only a minor hero. Hello, Aerial Fox. How does it feel to have made it to the main tournament? Oh, you have amnesia. This isn't your school, it's the staging area for the Holy Grail War. And we, the student council members, will be assisting masters such as yourself along the way. So, don't hesitate to talk to us. May victory be yours. These shelves comprise the cultural anthropology section. The titles of the books here are incomprehensible gibberish to the average person. These shelves comprise the art and design section. Judging by the bindings, there seem to be a number of different kinds of volumes available. These shelves comprise the Japanese history section. It seems like learning about our nation's history has become somewhat of a fad of late. Oh, congratulations on making it this far, Aerial Fox. May the Holy Grail guide you. Let's see here. Did you know that you can open the terminal by menu by pressing triangle? All the information you gather ends up there, so I recommend you review it on a regular basis. We at the Student Council are responsible for ensuring the Holy Grail War runs smoothly. If you have any concerns, speak to somebody in a black uniform who will help as we're able. The girls' bathroom. I don't need to go right now. The boys' bathroom. Going in there would be a bad idea. This is the multimedia room. Alright, fair enough. I guess it doesn't need more explanation. Yeah, I was wondering if they'd have the toilet flavor text be the same as in the prologue. Aha! If it isn't our resident lost little master. Is there something else you want of me? I said it already, but we're at war and you're my enemy. I have no desire to be your friend. Seeing as you can't remember anything, I guess any info would be useful to you. Since nobody else is stupid enough to help, I guess I will. If it's only about the basics, I'll tell you what I can. That should be enough, right? Beyond the basics, you're on your own. Poke around the Seraph if you need more specific info. What is the Seraph, anyway? That's right, you have no clue about anything. Let me start from scratch then. Seraph refers to the artificial world where we are now. Think of it as a kind of virtual reality. With that being said, it works on a level far removed from supercomputers and network clusters. The recreation of a single heroic spirit is far beyond the capacity of most of the world's computers. But in this place, there are more than 100 currently in existence. Imagine the power needed to just run the preliminaries with all of the necessary NPCs, etc. Things here are so anomalous that it requires godlike hacking skills just to gain access. And to be able to digitize yourself and exist here requires that you be a wizard-level hacker. So, are you okay with what I told you up till now? Okay then. What do you want to know about first? Tell me about the Holy Grail. As the whole point of this place is to win the Holy Grail, it's probably a good place to start. Since I've never actually seen it in person, I can't fill you in on all the details. However, I can safely say that it does exist, and its power to grant wishes is beyond doubt. Some Western plutocrats have tried to steal it away. Others are here to obtain it for themselves. Even dismissing rumor, the power inherent in the Holy Grail is enough to change reality. And only the last master standing will enter the center of the Seraph and claim the Holy Grail. That is why all masters are enemies. Of course, this includes you and me. What are wizards? As the Seraph is a virtual world, I'm sure you're aware that none of us have any substance. Normal hackers enter systems using a program, but methods used by a Spiritron hacker are far more advanced. A Magus will digitize their soul and then insert themselves into virtual worlds such as this one. That lets them process data instantaneously, which would be impossible for normal hackers. Of course, you can't learn to become a Magus. You had to be born with required abilities. Born into it. Yes, that sounds right. Wizards are ones who are born with the necessary circuits. There's also what's called third magic, which allows weaker wizards to digitize their souls. Magus Magi is like the G and GIF. Pronunciation is weird. Why in the hell are you asking about me? I have no desire to even pretend to be your friend. You think I'll say something that'll give you an edge? Perhaps you're not completely stupid. However, it's a moot point as you won't get out of the first round. You're way too soft and weak. Although I know better, seeing how much time I've wasted trying to help you. How depressing. I still owe you for molesting you. I'll help you with the basics, but that's about it. I've heard enough.
So?
Is that all? If you say so, I have no problem stopping now. Well, that's everything then. Don't bother me with any more of your stupid, pointless questions. Remember that you and I are enemies. Even a temporary alliance between us would end badly. Instead of hanging out here, you should be using the time left to you more responsibly. Okay, can I go grind experience somewhere, perhaps? I want power. You're a master too? Oh, a lot of people here. I've already spoken to these people. Maybe now I go to the church? Or maybe I go home, quote unquote? What's your deal? What a well-tended flower bed. Sometimes it's hard to believe that nothing here really exists. That the Seraph is nothing more than a virtual world created solely for the Holy Grail War. It's one of those things you have to see to believe, right? It's pretty amazing. Okay, still can't go there. I guess I'll try going home and see what happens. The main gate is tightly sealed. It looks like the only way to get out of this place is to be the last one standing. Well, there goes that plan. Maybe the cafeteria is open? Oh, here we are. As the 128th and final qualifier, we of the Student Council welcome you, Ariel Fox. Kodamini might have already told you, but the Holy Grail War is divided into 7 rounds. Until a winner is declared, we of the Student Council are here to support your efforts. Oh, whoops. The old school commissary kinda sucked. Oh well, as long as I can buy curry bread, I'm good. In hell, money conquers all. Welcome to the Sugimahara Academy Commissary. I can buy and sell items of Mystic Codes here. If I don't have a Mystic Code equipped, I will not be able to take advantage of it. Well, that's cool. I like how the abilities are written like functions. I would like this because MP is always a juicy stat, but I can't afford it just yet. I could buy some of these, but I don't know what I need to prioritize right now. Oh wait, there's one place left to check. Yeah, like doorway over here. Master, remember that once you're in the arena, you're committed. Leave and the day is over. Be sure to get your shopping and rumor mongering done before heading to the arena, okay? I understand, thank you. Okay, just in case, I'll save my game here. This is the arena entrance. Should I head inside? Yes. This seems simple enough that it could be procedurally generated. I'm not sure though. So this is the arena. Wow, look at how stark and uninviting this place is. There's an ungodly number of enemies prowling about, but fear not, I can take them out for you, Master. Seeing as this is your very first fight, why don't we just aim for that enemy over there for today? Revival fountains will heal both the Master and their servant, only on the first floor. Okay, pretty generous. Heads up, there's a weak little enemy coming at us. It really shouldn't be a problem, but if you fear for my well-being, press square to use healing items. You can also use items over tail deep in battle as well. If you could shower me with healing on a regular basis, that'd be great. My defense is sketchy at best. The only change in easy mode is adding fountains to more floors. Honestly, that is pretty impactful. Alright, let's see what happens if I do this. Okay, that did not go well, all things considered. The problem is, this kind of memory thing is exactly what I'm bad at. Attack, attack, break, break, attack, attack. So, attacks in 1 and 2 are correct. Wait, is it just attack all the way through? Well, that was very scuffed. Also, pink welcome. I am coming to realize that I'm not very good at this kind of game. Okay, so assuming that this thing's just gonna spam break all the way through. Okay, so attack, attack, guard, attack, attack, guard. Okay, so it doesn't actually do the same thing every round. I'm not good at other games either. You see me play Paper Mario? That's rude. Also, oh no, I'm rotating. I'm plenty good at other games. This thing is being very rude to me. This will probably end on the first one. Oh no. Okay, this is fine. I thought it would do 16 damage. Alright, straightforward enough. I'm going to be drinking voluminously from this fountain, I can tell. This feels so much like a Persona game. It feels kind of weird to not, like, attack enemies before they hit me. Okay, so first turn is attack, attack, break, break, attack, attack. My brain doesn't have that much space in it. I'll take those. I straight up might actually have to start carrying, using like a pen and paper. Just to, like, make notes of things. Okay, Tamamo's a loot goblin, good to know. She is a fox, it's to be expected. This is just what foxes are like. If you didn't want us to want it, you shouldn't have made it shiny. Select enlarges the map? Good to know, that's actually really helpful. That's the thing that Tamamo wants to kill today. Sorry, caster. I technically don't know that she's Tamamo yet. Yeah, it'd be a bad idea to fight this one. We might want to pass on this one for now, Master. Do I trust the fox? They do say that foxes are the most trustworthy animals of all. Hold on, am I not getting like the full 6 attacks per round, or is my mind just deleting them once they're out of sight? I feel like Tamamo is coming off worse in these clashes. Yeah, like that thing took 11 and I took 27. Oh well, this is fine. Oh no. I want to get back to the healing fountain. I don't think I'm making it back to the healing fountain. Okay, so it's attack, attack, block, attack, attack, block. Oh, that's exactly it. Wonderful. I was afraid that this character tier enemy was going to be the end of me. So I guess I just keep fighting those cubes until I feel strong enough to kill the bee. Or I leave and I come back on like another day. I'm getting like a Persona vibe where it's like you stay in as long as you can to get as strong as possible, with a time limit being like the upcoming goal. Not even allowed to fight B today? Oh. Well, nothing else spawned, so I guess I'm done. My lord, once you exit the arena, your day is done. You can't come back until tomorrow. If you're finished here, by all means, let's go, but are you sure you want to leave? Yes. Well, we nearly died to boxes on the first day, but we didn't, which is the important thing. Master, I noticed earlier that I can't reach my full potential. I'm not at full output. It's not your fault, Master, but the more you get used to fighting, the more I'll kick butt. Let's explore the arena again tomorrow. I'm invincible when my master is threatened, so don't worry, anybody in our way will get cut down. Interesting. I'm guessing that there are things I can do along the way that will like reveal things about the upcoming boss. That's kinda cool. Let's save our game. As I leave the classroom, I hear an electronic noise. It seems to be coming from the portable terminal that I stashed in my pocket. When I remove it, I see some words displayed on the screen. The next combatants will be announced on the second floor bulletin board. Combatant announcement? Then that must mean who I'm going to battle one-on-one with. I don't fully understand, but I ought to go to the second floor bulletin board to find out. In answer to the notice sent to my terminal, I reluctantly head to the bulletin board. On that now dreaded white piece of paper hosted there, 2 names have been written. The first name is my own. The other name is Shinji Mato. I get to kill Shinji first thing. 10 out of 10 game, let's go. So, you're my first opponent. I'm surprised you've managed to qualify. At some point during my initial shock, Shinji came up beside me. But I guess here, all things are possible. Hey, you might even be the most powerful wizard here. We're at different levels, even though we're friends, but still, I should congratulate you. Hey, didn't you just barely squeak through the prelims? I guess you're a charity case. I guess being mediocre has its advantages. You get all of these handicaps and whatnot. Keep in mind that this tournament is all about true strength, so don't get overconfident. And the guys who are running this are geniuses. Just look how intense the first round is. Come on, I mean, force people to give up friendships in order to win? That's pretty insane. Oh, what a cruel mistress fate can be, right? Even me, the strongest master here, is pained by this. After that little outburst, Shinji puts on a plastic smile and pats me on the shoulder. Well, let's keep things clean, okay? It should be a good fight. After all, you're a master too. When we see each other again, it'll be as enemies. Don't let our former friendship hold you back. I have to fight Shinji and his servant. No matter how many times I repeat myself, the meaning of the words fail to register in my brain. Do I have to kill a friend? A fellow human being? When I don't have any clue as to why? Shinji is not a friend. He's barely a human being, don't feel bad. This whole situation has fast become a nightmare. If Shinji is making light of the situation, why do I feel like I'm trapped in hell? The Gamecaster uses a blunt weapon as a mirror. Yep, it gives her infinite mana when she activates it. And electronic chiming sounds from my terminal. The primary cipher key has been generated. Primary cipher key? What is that supposed to be? I guess it's supposed to be a key of some kind. It'd be a good idea to ask that priest from before, Kotamine, about messages received via my terminal. He did say that all participants have the right to ask about any of the basic rules of the tournament. So, you've finally been assigned an opponent? You're going up against Mato? I see. He's really strong. There's a reason why he's such a famous hacker. Well, good luck with him. The young master. I have a few things to say to you before you enter the arena. Earlier, the computer registered that your primary trigger has been generated, did it not? 2 triggers must be retrieved by the end of each week if you need to participate in the tournament. Triggers? A trigger, or cipher key, is a key to the Colosseum and a way to call weak masters. All masters are required to obtain them during the course of the preparation period. Fail to obtain the triggers in the allotted time, and it'll be game over, as it were. Don't look so worried. It's a simple task to prove that you're ready for the elimination battle. Okay, where's the other one? The arena itself will be divided into 2 floors, and 1 trigger or cipher key is generated per floor. So obviously that results in 2 per matchup. It's the job of the master to go and retrieve these cipher keys. For convenience, everybody refers to them as primary trigger and secondary trigger. You will be notified through your portable computer terminal when a trigger generates. Alright? Combat between masters is prohibited in the arena and all of campus at all times. If for some reason a fight occurs, the system will shut it down within 3 turns. As a penalty, the status of any master caught fighting on campus will be downgraded. So, it's not impossible, you just have to be quick about it. Which is a problem because that's what Assassin does. Like most servants are for fighting servants, assassins are for killing masters. There you go, gonna get the trigger. Well, it sucks to be you. I'm going in right now too. A total cretin like you won't be able to find it, but good luck anyway. Ha. That dirty calculating! How dare he insult my beloved master so? Master, hurry up and go after him. I'll pound that little guppy into chum. Okay, I see the new icon of her, the new info icon you're talking about. But I'd like you to add your own special touches from now on. Be sure to maintain it every day, so that one day it'll be the loveness that all others will envy, okay? She said the same thing yesterday. That wasn't new information at all. The matrix in the menu? Ah. Keyword Maleficum. The witchcraft that caster uses is all physical phenomena performed with her own body, while common magecraft are programs that recompose what exists around. Witchcraft are programs that recompose the raw materials in one's own body. According to caster's own words, this time there's only one due to the constraints of the moon cell, but originally I could produce 1,000,000 troops from my multiple tails. That's really suspicious though. So she beats people up physically, but she calls it witchcraft. Alright. And we don't know what servant he has. If memory serves, didn't Shinji have... No, he didn't. Shinji had Lancer, didn't he? Oh well, I'll figure it out. That said, it's close enough to 9 o'clock my time. I think you face 8 night Shinji? I am. We'd sit in front of the arena? Fair. Good to jog from memory. But yeah, we're gonna wrap up for the night now. It's roughly 9 o'clock my time. Which is when I end my streams. So yes, thank you all so much for joining me tonight. I really appreciate it each and every time. Next scheduled stream is going to be tomorrow. The game is going to be Metroid Prime. The next time I'm playing this game in particular is going to be next Sunday. I hope you have a wonderful night, and I hope to see you again. Good night.